Hey guys, welcome to my channel. We are currently heading to Uyuni from La Paz and waiting for our bus in the Todo Turismo travel office. When our bus was ready, we were invited to walk towards the bus, and to be fair, I was really excited, but also a bit conscious because I'm not the best person to sleep in the bus. I really have problems sleeping in the buses all the time, so I wasn't sure if I'll be able actually to sleep. But luckily the bus was really comfortable. So this is a 2-floor bus. The ground floor is kind of a VIP area. The tickets for the VIP are a bit more expensive. I think they are $13 per person more expensive. But to be fair, it is really worth it. But if you don't want to pay for VIP, the first floor area is also quite nice. The bus tickets are a bit pricey. They can cost up to $47 per person, but they include dinner and breakfast. Hey guys, good morning. Now we have a small 15-minute break for breakfast and to go out and take pictures during the sunrise. Looks really pretty. It's getting warmer every minute, which is nice. We are walking to the office of the tour agency of a tour we are going to take, which we booked on Viator. The link will be in the comments down below in the description of the video in case you're interested. We picked the tour agency called Andes Expeditions because they were the best rated on Viator, and having completed the tour now, I can tell you it's totally worth it because the agency was really good and we gave them 5 stars as well. So I will definitely recommend you guys taking the same tour. They have 1-day tours, 2-day tours and 3-day tours, and we opted in for the 1-day tour. But our bus arrived at 8 AM and our tour didn't depart until 10:30, so we had some time to kill. And we decided to walk around the town, Uyuni. Uyuni has a lot of markets. It has typical kind of Latin American markets, which are located on the street, if the weather permits, and the weather pretty much always permits, even though it's pretty cold in the morning, so it can get up to -5 degrees at night. So I recommend bringing warm clothes because at 8 AM it's still around 3-4 degrees, so you really need a warm jacket. So Uyuni as a town was founded in the end of the 19th century, so around the 1890s. The location was strategic because there were a lot of minerals, and it was also easy to build the railway all the way to Pacific to deliver all these minerals. That's why the rail system was built in the end of the 19th century. However, in the middle of the 20th century, the resources kind of finished, so all the trains were brought to one spot near the Salar De Uyuni and abandoned. And it's actually the train cemetery, and we will be visiting it as part of our tour. And at 10:30 AM we finally started our tour. First stop of our excursion is the train cemetery behind. So this is exactly the train cemetery I have mentioned before. So in the 1940s, basically, the minerals got over and the trains were not needed anymore, so they were brought here. And there are plans to build some sort of museum here, but right now it's just literally a train cemetery. You can climb the trains, but the guide told us it might be a bit dangerous because one tourist managed to fall and die. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the organization of a tour. So the tour consists of multiple cars depending how many people book the trip. In our case it's pretty much 18 people, so it's 3 cars, 6 people per car, and 1 goes in front, 3 go in the middle, and 2 go in the back. I wouldn't say it's a most kind of comfortable layout, and there is enough like space, especially if you're tall, but since there are quite a few stops where you can exit, walk around, it's not that bad at all. Most of the tours start around 10 or 10:30, so all of them come to the train cemetery as the first stop. And we saw some pictures of like pre-COVID times, and can you imagine, there were probably 3 or 4 times more cars back then. Our next stop was a technical stop to load all the food to the cars, as well as pick up the rubber boots. And the next stop after that was the Salt Museum and a nice souvenir shop, where we had a little kind of tour and explanation about the salt production in Salar De Uyuni.
It's gonna be like a bit floated. Okay, 25. And get fine salt, guys, like this. No? If it's humid, tomorrow is going to be like this, compacted again. Okay? So that's why we use the fire.
The souvenir shop was actually really nice, or it's better to say souvenir shops, because there are quite a few. So the prices were really low. They were actually much lower than in the town in Uyuni. So if you want to buy something, I can totally recommend you to buy some sweaters or some colorful clothes. So we arrived to the part of the Salar which is covered by water. So the guides told us that because it rained a lot in January and December, it really rained a lot. We are still lucky to see a lot of water here in April, and actually probably the worst time to go to Salar is July and June, because it will all look brown because of the wind. So yeah, lucky that we were able to experience it like this, and now we are preparing for lunch. So our guides are setting up a table there. It looks pretty photogenic, and I'm actually super hungry, so yeah, can't wait. So our next stop was pretty far away. It was actually Fish Island, or the Isla de los Pescados. We drove for about 40 minutes, and it's worth mentioning that actually not all the tours come here. So we were pretty lucky. We had about 40 to 50 minutes free time here. So you need to buy a ticket to enter the island, and it costs 30 bolivianos per person. So it's pretty cheap, not so expensive at all. And you can basically walk around and take some stunning shots, because this landscape honestly looks pretty unique. I haven't seen anything quite like that in my life. And despite the fact it's called Fish Island, it has nothing to do with fishes. So the only explanation I found about the name was that it looks like a fish from far away. So people who saw it from some distance thought it looked like the fish. So yeah, that's your explanation basically. I actually managed to get a little bit tired after walking there for just 40 minutes because of the high altitudes. If you watched my previous videos, you pretty much know by now that I'm not good with altitudes at all. And we drove back for about 20-25 minutes and had some time to take some photos, some really fun shots, because finally the light was really good for taking photos. And our guide also filmed some really fun videos with the entire group for us all. It was definitely a lot of fun filming it. After seeing the sunset in Salar De Uyuni, we actually had our one last stop, which involved stargazing. And obviously I didn't have the most professional equipment in the world, so I couldn't show you how it looked, guys, but it was absolutely stunning. It was so beautiful. Then we actually left most of the guys in the resort hostel, and they brought us to the hotel we booked separately. It's called Hotel de Sal, Luna Salada. Most of the guys from our tour actually opted in for the 2-day or 3-day tour, so they had accommodation pre-booked, but since we booked a 1-day tour, we had to book our own hotel, and that's what we picked because it was my birthday and we wanted something a little bit more bougie. And in this hotel, everything is made of salt. The walls, the furniture, a lot of different kind of rooms and ceilings, like, yeah, pretty much everything. It was absolutely unique and definitely not like anything we've seen before. The room was actually really nice. We booked the nicest room they had with a view to Salar, and it wasn't even that expensive. I think it was something like £150 a night or $190 a night. And since Pepe warned them that it was my birthday, they brought really some nice treats for me, such as balloons and macaroons, and the macaroons and the pastries were really delicious. So actually the hotel itself is absolutely stunning. So in another wing of the hotel, so the hotel is pretty large, there are a lot of kind of like small rooms with fireplaces where you can sit and just enjoy the view and have some warmth because it's pretty cold inside the hotel. So the only two downsides, in my opinion, were the food. We got a burger and the bun was ice cold, so it was pretty much inedible. We could only eat the patty inside, and the breakfast was a little bit disappointing as well. And the spa. So the spa was absolutely cold and it was very, very dirty. I don't know what happened there, but we were the last guests of the night, so I guess we didn't clean up anything. And yeah, it was a little bit disheartening. But the room itself and the view from the room are amazing, and we really, really enjoyed our experience there. So to return back to La Paz, we actually booked a flight because we thought that getting a night bus to Uyuni, taking a day tour, and getting a night bus back might be a bit too much. So we decided to stay a night in this beautiful salt hotel, and instead just fly the next day. But we just got a message from the airline, which was not very clear. We just got literally an updated ticket with a different departure time, which was delayed by 2 hours. So we've got no idea what to do now. Probably have to check out later from the hotel, but the taxi might be already on the way.
Sé que no tanto, eran 4.
Sí, porque creo que teníamos el vuelo en la mañana como a las 9:10 y ustedes salieron 9:30, ¿no?
Ah.
You make us look like out of those a man wearing chinos in the desert.
We arrived at Uyuni International Airport. Even though we departed a bit later, we still arrived too early, and it's currently, we still have like an hour and 40 minutes before the flight. There's absolutely nothing to do in the airport. There's not enough seating space for everyone. I hope people will arrive a bit later because generally it's just not much seating space. There we took almost the last seats, and I'm pretty sure some people have been here since early morning because the flight was supposed to depart at 11, and it was delayed until 1:20 p.m. and yeah, it was, a lot of people I guess didn't check their email. We received the email literally at like 9:20. Some people might have already departed their hotel by that time, so it was a bit messy, but good news that the flight is going ahead, and hopefully we will still be able to make our next flight because we were supposed to have like a 3-hour interchange, and now it's has shrunk to just 50 minutes. Hopefully Cochabamba airport isn't big either, so we would be able to make it. Pepe actually went to explore like upstairs. There's supposed to be a cafe, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's open. The tour guide, basically the taxi driver. Our taxi driver told us that this airport used to be quite busy before the pandemic. On the busiest days, during the busiest times of the year, it had up to 14 flights a day, and in the kind of quieter times, it was like 2, 3, 4, 5 flights per day. Right now, there are not even direct flights to La Paz. The direct flights are to Cochabamba, and they happen 3 times a week. So hopefully, after the pandemic, the restrictions will be lifted in more and more countries, and people will be able to return here and travel to Bolivia. Our interchange was in Cochabamba. So Cochabamba airport is way larger than the Uyuni airport, but still pretty small. Maybe it's actually a little bit bigger than La Paz airport. But Cochabamba itself is a very interesting city. So first of all, it's not as high in the mountains, basically not a high altitude city like Uyuni or La Paz. So it's really hot there. So keep in mind your morning flight will depart from Uyuni. It will be probably like 7 or 9 degrees in the morning. And you will arrive to Cochabamba, it will be immediately like over 30 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty hot there. And we were hoping that we would get some time in Cochabamba. Initially, we had 3.5 hours. So we thought we would be able to go to the city for like an hour and we'll be able to see something, because a lot of people told us that food in Cochabamba is absolutely amazing. It's the best food they tried in Bolivia, and overall Cochabamba is the capital of food of the entire Bolivia, and all people do there is just eat. So if you have an opportunity, just make sure to schedule some longer interchange in Cochabamba, or just, you know, stay there for a night or two. Unfortunately, we just didn't have time because our trip was really jam-packed with activities. But if you have an opportunity, then why not? Because I've heard there are plenty of things to do in Cochabamba besides eating. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I tried to make it as useful as possible, and I will leave the links to the one-day tour we took, and as well as 3-day tour from the same company we took on Viator in the description box of this video below, as well as the link to our hotel in case you're interested, because it's genuinely a very nice and interesting hotel. And in case you guys like this video, give me please some thumbs up. It's really nice to receive them from time to time, and I hope you guys are having nice time, and see you guys in the next video. The next video will be from Ecuador.